only psalm in all of the 150 psalms that these two words are used as an imperative, as a command. Sing, 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 tell, and announce, or tell and declare. So the beginning of this psalm is loud. The psalmist wants us to pay attention. David sings to Yahweh, and he invites all Israel to announce the marvelous story of Yahweh's deliverance, the proclamation of the King who has returned. To whom is David and all Israel with him? Who is he announcing this story to? To the nations, from the very beginning, to the nations, to all the peoples who have never heard the declaration of the marvelous works of Yahweh, who is the true King. This is an Old Testament proclamation. Hear this. For all the earth. For all the earth. The first thing to be said on World Mission Sunday, the first song to be sung, is that you are not the singer. Or another way to say this is, you are not the source. You are the recipient. You are not the one commanded to sing. You are the one who has received the song. We, in case you don't know this, are Gentiles. We are the nations. We are the peoples who have never heard the name. We've never heard the story. So David sings with all Israel for Yahweh and for his name, announcing good news or the gospel of God's marvelous works to all the nations who have never heard. They've never heard the story of God's redemption, and that in God's great mercy, this song has been sung all the way down to us here today. It includes you and it includes me. We are not the singer. We are not the source. We are the unworthy recipient. And what a song it is. When this king comes to town, he does not subjugate the peoples. He invites them into his kingdom. He invites the conquered, those whom he has conquered, into his glorious courts to sing as one with his people. Why? Why sing this song? Why proclaim this story among the nations? Verse 4, because, the psalmist sings, because Yahweh is great and greatly to be praised. He is to be revered above all gods. Why is he to be revered above all gods? Because all the gods of the peoples are as nothing. They are worthless images. They're non-entities. Yahweh is the one creator and maker, the psalmist sings, the maker of heaven and the maker of earth. They're nothing next to him. Honor and majesty are before him. He is almighty and beautiful in his sanctuary. This is the first section, and it is good. It is vital. It is central when you and I, who believe the gospel, when we are believing the gospel, that we go and we tell and proclaim to all nations the wonderful works of King Jesus. And we must do this. We must proclaim the good news to those who have never heard the story. He is both all-powerful and all-beautiful, as the psalmist says, and every people on earth worships worthless images compared to the one who made the heavens. This is the beginning of this song, but we must remember at the beginning and in the middle and in the end of this song, we are not the singer, or else we are not the proclaimer at the outset. We're the recipient. We are the ones who worship nothing every day. That's us. That's our culture. That's the temptations of our church. We are the peoples who listen to terrible stories all day long. We fear death, and we fear all the gods that we have crafted with our own hands, and we bow down to all of this worthless junk because we are lost and we are alone. But God, in his power and beauty, came to us and he sings over us. He came and he sang the glorious and majestic story of his deliverance over us. And remember, we are the recipients. We are the foolish Gentiles. We are the pagan peoples. He sings over us. So at the beginning of this psalm and on this World Mission Sunday, one of the great dangers of World Mission Sunday is imagining that we are the people who are the source, as if all the nations need to come to us, as if we are the keepers of the good news alone, and we have to go to them, and they need us. We are not the source of the singing. We imagine that all those pagans around the world, they desperately need us. They need us to bring them good news. It is true that we, the pagan peoples of the world, are invited to sing this song. It is true we are compelled to sing and to tell and proclaim the song of the gospel, but we are not the singer. We're not the source. Our glorious King Jesus came to proclaim the good news of God's marvelous works to us. We've been brought in on the story. To those who have never heard the story before, we have heard. This is crazy. It's remarkable. Oh, what mercy that we should hear such wonderful news. As the old hymn says, what wondrous love is this, that we should not only hear it and believe, but also be invited to sing his praise. So the first stanza, the first section of this psalm, outlines that we are not the singer. We're the recipient of this song. The second stanza, the second section, give him everything. Give him everything. Look with me at verse 7 of Psalm 96. Ascribe to Yahweh, families of the peoples. Ascribe to Yahweh honor and might. Ascribe to Yahweh the honor that only his name deserves. Carry your offering to him. Come into his courts. Come into the courts of your king. Bow down to Yahweh in his majestic holiness. Tremble before him, all the earth. So just like the first section, this second section of the psalm repeats an imperative 3 times. This time, ascribe. Ascribe to Yahweh. Ascribe to Yahweh. Ascribe to Yahweh. He is the source. He is strong. He is glorious. Ascribe. Ascribe, it doesn't simply mean to recognize him. It doesn't simply mean to recognize the honor and glory that God alone has. God invites us to ascribe on him, or else to give to him, to give to Yahweh, to bestow on Yahweh our glory and strength. We are not the singer. We are not the recipient of God's gospel. We are the recipient of God's gospel proclamation, and we have nothing to bring the maker of heaven and earth, but still, he invites us into the king's courts to give our offering to him. This is remarkable. Jesus the King says this to you as if to his own child. Hear this, child, I know you have little. I know you are bruised and beaten down. Come to me. Come anyway. Come as a helpless child. Come into my courts. Bow down before me. I made you in my image. You reflect my glory. Give me your honor and strength. Carry your offering. Bring everything into my presence. Give him everything. Now hear me, child of God. The maker of heaven and earth has given you honor and strength. You are beloved. Come to him. Fall on your face before your merciful King and give him everything. Tremble before him, quake before him, like the agonizing twisting of a woman giving birth. Come and tremble before him. You are his beloved. Do not be afraid. Give him everything. And finally, the last stanza, the last section of this psalm. Speak. Speak among the nations. What shall we say? Well, this is what we should say. Christ has died. Christ is risen. Christ will come again. Look with me at verse 10 of Psalm 96. Here's the last imperative. Say. Say among the nations. Yahweh has already begun to reign. Yes, the world stands firm. It shall not be moved. He governs the peoples with uprightness. The heavens are to rejoice. The earth is to be glad. The sea and its fullness are to thunder. The countryside and all that is in it are to exult. Then all the trees in the forest are to resound his praise before Yahweh. Before Yahweh, because he has come to exercise authority over the whole earth. He exercises authority over the world in faithfulness. Over all the peoples, he reigns as king in his faithfulness. Lifted high upon the throne of his cross, Jesus began to reign. The earth quaked when he took his throne. Christ has died once for all. Jesus Christ rose from the grave and he ascended to the throne above every throne. Christ is risen. He is presently reigning as king over heaven and earth. Say among the nations, Yahweh has already begun to reign. Jesus Christ is king right now, and he will come again to finish what he began, to restore heaven and earth, and to fully and finally reconcile us, both man to God and God to man. All creation groans for that day, the Apostle Paul writes. Yet the world stands firm. It will not be shaken because Yahweh reigns. Jesus the King rules all the peoples of the earth with righteousness, and the almighty and merciful King will come again to judge the living and the dead. Say this. Sing this. Sing Psalm 96. Christ has died. Christ is risen. Christ will come again. Speak this good news to the families of the peoples and the hills and hollers of Gentile West Virginia. Encourage, support, and exhort me to hold fast to this proclamation all my life among the nations. You guys. Support our missionary families in Kazakhstan and Summersville and Cambodia with your prayers and with your money. Say among your children, say among your neighbors, say among the nations, Jesus reigns. Don't be afraid. Right now, he reigns. And he is good, and he has come, and he's coming again. And he invites you into his courts to bring a sacrifice of praise and thanksgiving. Come, come. This is the song we are to sing. Give what little glory and strength you have to the King. Speak of his righteous authority and his marvelous works among the nations. This is our mission. Our mission is worship. Worship the King around the table for the life of the world. Sing and speak and pray and feast and repeat and invite more and more people into the presence of God to worship. This is our mission. That's it. This is our song. come and worship the King. Gather together. Sing, receive. Go out to do the work the Lord has given you to do, and invite more and more people into the song. Sing of Jesus the King reigning. Live as one who trusts that he loves you and watches over you, and tell of his marvelous works to the world. This is the song we're supposed to sing. This is the song of the gospel. Just a few days ago, our beloved sister, Joyce, her mom, at the age of 95, Georgie Doris, she went to be with Jesus. And she's been declining for a while, and has been unresponsive for weeks and weeks. But two Sundays ago, as Joyce was sitting next to her bed in Ohio, and she was watching the live stream of our worship service with her mom, Josiah and the band, her mom didn't wake up because of my sermon. Her eyes lit up because they started singing, "Holy, holy, holy." She hadn't been responsive, and she wasn't responsive after that for a long while. What you sing is what you believe. It's what you'll remember on your deathbed. When your voice is gone, it's the only thing that will hold you. King David sang this psalm as he entered into Jerusalem carrying the Ark of the Covenant. He conquered the nations with his sword, but he was not the king to ascend to the throne. He would not build the house. That's what Yahweh told him. The nations brought their wealth to David's son, Solomon, but he was not the king to reign on the throne forever. Jesus of Nazareth, the son of Mary, the son of Adam, the son of Abraham and all the nations, the son of King David and elect Israel, the only begotten Son of God, Jesus, the anointed King, died on his throne. He ascended to his throne where he rules and reigns right now, and his throne will descend and restore heaven and earth in the end. This is our song. So go and sing and tell this good news among the nations. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.